So our first question for you is, where's the distinction between an educator and a board member, and how do you find yourself within this distinction?
The board member's responsibility is to make sure that the educator, the teacher in the classroom, has the programs and the support they need to do their job. That's our only purpose. If they don't have the means to do their job, they can't do it. If they don't have the support of the principal, the principal really, really is important. He or she sets the tone for the entire school. You have to make sure that the administration of the school is supportive and that the administration of the school knows how to support the teachers. More important than anything else. The teachers are the boots on the ground. If we don't support them, we get no product, and the product is you.
All right. As a representative of the EPISD student population, what do you feel is your connection to the student bodies throughout the district, and what would you do to enhance this connection?
I'll do what I'm doing, being a board member. Are these questions directed at the people who are going to be on the...
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. We're going to be asking these same ones to the applicants, so we'd like to first see...
How do you want me to answer them? I mean, I've had 4 years' experience and they haven't, so I don't know what you want me to say.
Virtue.
Well, I think go use the questions that we are asking you, just as the position you are now, however you can answer it.
Yeah.
Do you want to assume that I'm one of the candidates? Or do you want me to answer as a board member? That's
Did
my...
anyone start the recorder?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my question to you, because I'm going to have very, very different answers.
Yes.
Because they don't have the experience that I do.
I would say just answer yourself as a board member.
Okay.
So just what is your current connection and how do you balance your connection with the schools that you're representing, and what are some ways that you think you can still enhance this connection?
Okay, would you repeat the question, please?
As a representative of the EPISD student population, what do you feel is your connection to the student bodies through the district, and what would you do to enhance this connection?
My connection is I'm their advocate. I was a teacher. I'm on the board to make sure that the board is focused on education and not something that doesn't enhance the students' experience and forward their education. That's all I'm there for. My connection is I live in the district. I live across the street from Masita Grade School. I hear their announcements every morning, so I know what's going on in their school. And I've had 3 children graduate from, their whole education was the El Paso Independent School District. I taught, my wife taught in the school district. I taught for 38 years, my wife taught for 33 years, so I'm very connected. I'm chairman of the Curriculum Instruction Committee, so I'm almost directly responsible for what you see in your classroom, one way or another. So I keep that in mind every time I make a decision. Is it good for the students? Is it good for the teachers? Good for the administration? And then one of the most important questions, can we afford it? So those are my connections, and what my job really is to make sure that the students' education is going forward and not backward.
All right. We've come to understand that many reasons why people feel less inclined to apply for this position is due to their lack of time or profession. What motivated you to sacrifice your time and, in your case, you were already a board member, and apply?
It was very, very simple. I retired from teaching. My wife said, get out of the house. I don't want you around every day, all day. So what I did is I started substitute teaching. I substituted at schools where I taught, so I knew all the teachers. And this is when we were going through the situation with Dr. Garcia, the scandal that was occurring in the school district, and all of my friends and other teachers would come up and say, help, please help. We trust you. We know you have the time because you're retired. And I went home one day and I asked my wife, I said, what do you think? She said, go for it. So I did. And the funny thing is, I didn't know how. Well, how do you enter politics? How do you get started? What do you do? And I couldn't get anyone to tell me. So I saw a little news thing on TV about the school district, and the interim superintendent at the time was a friend of mine. So I gave him a call and I said, Vern, how do you do this? He says, well, there's a lady in my office. Come and see her. And that's how I got started. I filled out a form, I submitted it, and I won. And then I said, oh my gosh, now I've got to do it. And I didn't really have any idea what I was getting in for. But we got a lot of training. And we learned, and I've learned, and there's no substitute for experience. So that's how I got into it and why I did it. I wanted to help. The morale in the schools was so low, It was hard to watch. The people I had worked with for so many years just walk around with their head down because of the stigma that was attached. And I believe deep in my heart that we've really done a good job to turn that around. I don't believe that's the feeling anymore. And I get angry sometimes with people who want to go back and relive all of that. And I say, please, forget about that. Look at our record. Look what we've done, not what they did. And see where we're going and see what we're doing. And you can criticize that all you want, but that's where I'm coming from.
Okay. What is your definition of an engaging and challenging learning environment, and how would you use your definition to fulfill the goals set by the current school board?
We've initiated a program. Hopefully it's working. The more I see, the more I believe in it. And that's called the, what do you call it? The learning environment where students are 80% of the learning and the teacher is a facilitator. It's called active learning. And we're trying to throw out all the old preach and teach items. And if a student wants to learn, they will. And if they find something interesting, they'll learn it. And they have to learn social skills also, and that helps the social skills. So it's not just a teacher. Well, it's teacher initiated, of course it is. Here's your project, here's what we want you to do. I'm here to help you get this project going and completed. And we're going to use everything we have, including technology. Y'all are a brand new generation of people who have grown up with technology. And we can't throw that out the window. We have to incorporate it into our teaching. And that's what we're trying to do. Incorporate everything we have, give you a laptop, put you in an environment where you want to learn. And that's what the active learning situation is. It's project-based. And the teacher will say, at the end of the semester, I want you to do X. And he'll say, I'm here to help you do that. I'm here to guide you if you want help. I'm here to provide the expertise as far as where you can find the materials. But in the end, the group of you are going to have to come up with a project, and all of you are going to have to be responsible for the result. And that's also going to teach you, like we were talking about before, how to manipulate yourself in the workplace. Get along with people, come up with your own solutions. Social and emotional learning is a big project we're working on right now. We had problems in the past, and we want to incorporate that also. We want to remove the impediments to your learning. If you're having problems here, let's fix that. If you're having problems here, fix that. We want you to concentrate on your studies. We want the teachers to say, I'm a facilitator. I want you to have the best result possible, but it's going to be up to you. And put the responsibility on you.
Okay. What unique qualities or skills do you think you bring to the board, and what do you believe you need to build upon? My background is a teacher, but I was also a
college referee. I was a referee in 3 sports, football, basketball, and volleyball. And when you stand in front of 10,000 people and you have a tenth of a second to make a decision one way or the other, and you can't go back and change it, you have to understand the rules, the positioning, the mechanics. You have to understand all of that to make a decision. And the game moves on. You can't look back. That helped me on being a board member. I read all the materials, which is copious. We've had as many as 1,100 pages to read in 5 days for board meetings. And you have to read all of it. The nice part about being a trustee is you can say, I don't understand this. Department head, Ms. Smith, come sit down here and explain this to me so that I understand it, so that I can vote on it and make a decision. And where I have over the other board members is I do the best I can, I learn everything I can, I make a decision, I vote on it, and then I let it go. Some of the other board members want to dwell on it. I don't. And that was what officiating taught me. Make a decision. If it's the right decision, great. If it's the wrong decision, don't make that mistake again. And go on. And that's where I'm coming from. It's a thankless job. It's a non-paying job, but it's also very rewarding when I can come out and talk to people like yourselves. It's really nice.
And what is it that you think you need to build upon?
The programs we have in place. The new tech programs, the active learning programs, the STEAM school we started for young ladies. We just have all kinds of things that are happening. And I apologize to the teachers in the room, but my thrust is, right now, we've got enough programs. Let's make sure the programs we have are working. And if they're not working, let's get rid of them. And if we need a new program, we're gonna, it's kind of like you go in the door here, something goes out over here. We can't keep changing programs for the teachers. It's just too much for them. So I want to continue the programs that we've initiated. The dual language program is just something we've got to implement throughout our school district, but we're having problems finding people to do it. So that's a problem we have. The active learning, the new tech, the magnet school programs that we have in place, the STEAM programs, the STEM programs, everything that I've mentioned. I just want to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that's where I'm going to come from.
Okay. What do you consider to be the most important aspect of education, and why do you believe this?
Teaching students, giving them the proper education to go to whatever school they want to go to. If they don't want to go to college, to get them pointed in the direction of a technical aspect. I believe one of the most underrated programs we have in our district is the technology, career and technology education program that a lot of people don't even know about. We have, I used to teach there, that's why I'm advocating it. We have programs where it would allow you to graduate from high school, start immediately with a good paying job, and they'll pay for your college if you want to go. So the most important thing is educating children. And the most important thing I can do is to support that education however I see fit. Where I see a need, I want to give the teachers what they need to do their job.
Okay. Other than policy-related ideas, what do you believe makes you an adequate leader and representative for your district?
When I was teaching, I was always the president of the CIT, the Campus Improvement Team. I always led the discussions. Every school that I taught at, I was Teacher of the Year at one time or another. And all the sports associations I've ever been to, I've been president of the associations at one time or another, or vice president and down the line. I was voted into the El Paso Athletic Hall of Fame 2 years ago. I don't talk. I try to lead by example. And people tell me that's very effective. So that's where I'm coming from. I don't pat myself on the back. But if something needs to be done, I do it. You asked me to come out here, I came. Are all the other trustees coming? No, I don't think so.
Not all.
All of them are?
No, not all, but we had more than we expected.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I do what I say I'm gonna do, and I'm finding more and more that's hard to come by these days. So I've always been a leader one way or the other. And I hope as vice president of the board, I hope I'm carrying that forward.
How do you leverage your personal district's interests with the cohesiveness of the entire board?
That's a really good question. Number one, I'm not territorial. I keep in mind the needs of every student in our district. I don't care what number 7, number 2, number 5. If there's something wrong at Coronado High School, even though it's not in my district, I'll try to help. I will go through the proper channels. I won't go to the superintendent and say, hey, you know, Ms. Fennenbach's district's all screwed up. I don't do that kind of thing. I go to Ms. Fennenbach when she was in office and I'd say, Ms. Fennenbach, I've heard this problem. It's yours now. Primarily, I care about all the students, all the teachers, all the administrators in our district. And just because I represent some more than others, that's okay. I have a really good relationship. I've visited all my schools. I visit every one of them every year, and I talk to the principals and the teachers. I go in every once in a while. I'll find out when most of the teachers are having lunch, and I'll just go sit in the lunchroom where they are and just talk to them. I'm not questioning them, I'm just listening to see what I can hear. So I don't care more about the schools in my district. I just care that they're being make sure that they're being taken care of, as well as all the other schools.
Okay, well, that's our final question for you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope I helped.
Thank you.
Yes, you did.
Those are good questions.
Thank you.